different categories that we consider when ranking our products. So the first one is healthy home. So healthy home considers off-gassing VOCs, if any of these products are doing this. We want to make sure that we include products that don't off-gas or have as little VOCs as possible, because chronic exposure to these is actually unhealthy. The second category that we consider is if the products have low embodied energy and a low life cycle impact. So really what this means is whether the materials from harvesting to manufacturing and transportation, how much energy is actually used to do this, because what we don't realize sometimes is that products that are made overseas and stuff actually carry a lot of, or use up a lot of energy that we're unaware of. So we really want to make sure that that's limited. Life cycle impact. Some people will get a product and don't realize the energy it takes to actually run that product, or the maintenance on that product. So we want to make sure that the life cycle impact of the stuff that we're using will be for the long run, and won't cost them a lot of money and won't cost a lot of energy to maintain. This kind of goes into our next pillar, which is durability and resiliency. What we see a lot in construction nowadays is cheap materials and cheap finishes being used because they look nice, but what people don't realize is they don't last that long. You might have to replace them after 10, 20 years. And when you're replacing them, you're now going back through that whole manufacturing process. You're going back through all that embodied energy it took to make those again. So spending a little extra money on products that are more durable and that are more resilient are better for the environment and better for the consumer. Another thing tying in with life cycle impact is locality. So what we try and do is we try and source our products as close to the job site as possible. Ontario is where we try and get most of our products, but if we can't do that, Canada, then the States, we try to not use products from overseas unless there are really good reasons. So another thing that we like to focus on is using reclaimed and salvaged materials whenever we can. So we actually go out and source materials that we can use. One example would be the fireplace that we have in the living room. That stone was actually reclaimed from a foundation in Toronto, which actually originally came from the Humber River. So we like to include pieces like this throughout the house to make sure that there's some story and some history within our buildings. So we strive to use products that can be recycled or can be reused in a different way after they're not needed anymore. So we stay away from products that will go straight to the landfill as much as possible. Sometimes it's not possible, but we really consider that and really take that into consideration when we're choosing products. So our last pillar would be our Biophilia pillar. This pillar just is used to see if there are connections that we can make between nature and the homeowner. It is shown that there are physiological, psychological, and cognitive benefits of being exposed to nature. So this simply could be exposure to stones, woods, views, and greenery. So we just try to see if we can include as much of this in the house as possible. So although this rating scale is very descriptive and very detailed, it is only a guide. We really need to go through each and consider each when comparing products. For example, our Sika tape that we use, it's extremely expensive, but the reason it's expensive is because it's so durable, because it's so resilient, and because it's adding to the envelope and the building envelope and the efficiency of the home. So even though it might score lower on an affordability pillar, it actually brings so much more value to that. So we'd have to go through each and compare each for each category, for the roofing, for the flooring, etc., to be sure that the product we're choosing has the values and has the characteristics that we value most. Keogh Construction just wants to build better, and this rating scale is really helping us do that.